The mobile view is the field technician's interface of choice for Powercode, and that's because it resizes itself based on what device is being used and the size of the screen. And it's accessible through the web browser on port 447. From this interface, field technicians can log into jobs, add equipment and services, activate customers, and more. So for the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to activate a new customer. Now we see that we have 2 jobs on the schedule for today. The first job we're going to check into, and then we're going to mark it as a fail and reschedule it, saying that the customer was not there at the time of the job. So we checked in, open up the completion form, mark as failed, and we're just going to say customer was not home. And by requesting rescheduling, this is going to create a duplicate job item in the schedule live view, and the dispatchers will be able to put it back on the schedule for a later date. Now, on the job that we want to get to, which is this new customer activation, we'll click on that job, and if we're coming from another location, we want to get this into our GPS quickly. If we load up this job, we can simply click on the customer's address, and that'll open up Google Maps automatically to give us directions. Now, at the top of the page, we have a little bit more information. What kind of job is this? It's an installation. What do I need to know about it? Here are the notes that we entered in as the dispatcher created the job. Need to install on the north side of the house, and it looks like a good shot to Woodsville. We also see that the customer has no equipment, no services. It's a nice quick checklist for the technician when he gets on site, whether it's for a new install or a service call. When we check into a job, that's reflected back in the office when a user is logged in the web browser on port 444, and they'll be able to see in the schedule live view that the check-in has occurred, and they'll also be able to keep an eye on that timer and see how long the technician has been on site. Past that, we can go to the equipment tab to add equipment. This is the exact same form that's found in the normal interface of Powercode. Choose your device type, add a MAC address, IP address, and so on. And if services haven't been added already, or the customer wants to upgrade to a bigger package or whatnot, the technician can either change their services here or add a new service. Again, same thing as in the normal interface, just have a drop down, pick the correct service, and add. Now, if a technician adds a one-time charge for like installation or a router or whatnot, it'll say it's successfully added, but you won't be able to see it here because this page is only going to show us what recurring services are on the account rather than one-time charges that have been applied. Once those 2 things are done, we're pretty much ready to activate the customer, but we have a couple more things that we can do first. So first thing is that if we notice that the geolocation of the customer's address is incorrect, and we happen to be using a device that has GPS, we can use this update latitude and longitude button to take the GPS out of our current location and update the customer's account in Powercode. Now, I always thought that it was a good idea to have the customer log into the portal before the technician leaves the premises, so you can now edit the contact from the mobile view. And if you scroll down a little bit, you can see the customer portal access info. And from this page, we can either send the customer a username and portal reset link, or we can just ask them what password they would like and enter it in on this page. Now, when we're done installing the customer, we'll be able to walk them through logging into the portal so they can add a payment method or pay for installation charges or whatnot. Past that, we can also have them sign the contract from this page as well. Now, there are multiple different ways that contracts can be queued onto the account and signed, and the customer can get redirected to the portal signature, but I really like the option to have them sign while the technician's on site. They don't have to load anything up, they don't have to log in. The technician can just say, okay, here's the contract we want to sign, let's queue that for the customer, verify that the contact on the account is the person that we're talking to. They can take a look at the contract here, and again, this is on the field technician's mobile device, and then we have the signature page. So the customer can type in their name, and then they can use the touch screen on the cell phone or tablet or whatnot, and they can go ahead and enter their name there. Once we click finish, that file has now been stored on the customer's account under the File tab, and we can go ahead and finish up the job. Back on the Jobs tab, we see the final time that it's taken to complete this job, and we can open up the completion form. Now, as a default, the completion form just has a notes field. And for an installation, it also has this Set Customers Active checkbox. And since it's an installation, we have that checkbox already checked as a default so that when the job is completed successfully, the customer is activated automatically. Now, the couple of fields that we have, including this ability to add an installation picture to the completion form, this is all based on our completion templates and our job templates, which are covered in other videos. And you can see that the little star that we have next to the couple of fields at the top here, that indicates that those fields are required. If I try to submit without those fields, it'll give me an error. So we'll put in a couple of values here. We could type in any notes, add a picture, and then once we're done, we can click Submit. And at this point, the customer has been activated. If you have proration set up in your system, it'll prorate the customer, and they are good to go and getting service. If you have any questions on the mobile view, feel free to contact our support team. We'll be happy to answer all of your questions there, and have yourself a great day.